All right, so at this point we have designed the bottom of our speaker box. Now we need to design one of the sides. So for mine right now, I'm going to show us how to design I'm going to do the front piece, my acrylic piece, which is kind of down here. So we need to start a new part. And first things first, start a sketch. Just like all the other parts, every part is going to be 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. All right. Again, keep in mind what part it is and what tool is going to be used. The acrylic is on it's going to be cut out on a laser. So if I wanted to, I could finish this sketch, extrude it, and then kind of work in 3D. If it is not if it's one of the HDPE pieces or the expanded PVC, it's going to go to the Carvey. It all needs to be done in the same sketch for when you export as a DXF and import into what's it called? The easel software. I'm going to just do it all in one sketch just to kind of show you how that's done. All right. So instead of hitting finish sketch, what I'm going to do is go back here. All right, I'm going to design it in this orientation, exactly the way I see it here, where it's kind of upside down, just to help me out and show you how all this works. All right, and show you why there's this weird, cutout here and all that kind of stuff. All right, and so the other thing is to keep in mind that this side here is flat. There's no cutouts. There's no finger joints in the top. That way we have a smooth surface top to our speaker box. All right, so unlike the bottom where I didn't cut the edge, here on the sides, I do cut the edge first. All right, so when I put in my new rectangle, I am going to and here I'm going to actually start with a rectangle in this corner and then go over, and I can dimension it immediately since I do know the dimensions here. So if I go back here, I know that all my fingers are 0.5 inches across and the depth here is 0.2. All right, so I can go 0.5 tab 0.2. All right. And so then I can put in another box. This one's going to be a random dimension. Just kind of match it up here. And then just keep going with these random. The only one that's not random is I'm making sure that it lines up on the top part here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one goes right here, and that's 0.5, and then 0.2. Okay, so let's dimension all this stuff, make sure it's the way it needs to be. So from here to here, 0.5. This is 0.5. From here to here is 0.5. This is 0.5. Here to here is 0.5. This is 0.5. And then here to here should just be 0.5 the way it all adds up, but I don't want to dimension that because otherwise it's going to be over-dimensioned. All right, now what you need to do is you need to cut away or remove all the stuff that's not necessary. So I'm going to use the trim tool and trim away the stuff that's not needed. So you see that gives me an error right there. So I can just, I trimmed some stuff, now I can just delete. All right, so I'm going to leave this part. Now I need to trim away that. All right, so hit the trim command, trim, trim. Sometimes you have to hit twice if you have more than one line. Trim. Oops, so if it's not going to trim, I just exit out of the trim command and hit delete. And then trim, trim. So always try to trim. Oops, undo. Let's see if this will trim. Oops, I don't want that. Why did that not work? So undo, undo. So let's see if I can try to do this again. Trim this. Okay, now trim that. Oops, something didn't work. Undo. Remove that. And then trim this. Okay, so it was having an issue with the dimension constraint. All right, so everything is good now. So now I have the fingers that go into the bottom. So now I need to figure out the fingers that go kind of on the right-hand side here. These fingers go into the HDPE tile, so that's why these fingers have to be 0.25 inches thick. All right, so I'm going to go from the quote unquote top of the box, which is really the bottom of the piece, the way it's oriented right now, up. All right, so on the right-hand side here, zoom out a little bit, you can start doing. So here, it starts with an out piece, so the first cut is actually ½ inch up. All right, so it's going to be, I'm going to start on this line, and it's going to be in a distance of 0.25. So that's actually kind of where it snapped to, but I'm going to type it in 0.25, and then a height of 0.5. All right, I'm going to do another one. 0.25, 0.5. Another one, 0.25, 0.5. And even one more, 0.25, 0.5. All right, now let's space these all out appropriately. Dimension from here to here should be 0.5. This should be 0.5. From here to here is 0.5. From here to here is 0.5. From here to here is 0.5. And now I need to actually just cut this stuff away. All right, so remember, these are the cutouts. So use the trim command, trim, and trim. Okay, it's not going to like that one, so escape out. Just click on it, delete it. All right, and then trim again, trim this, trim this. Oh, okay, hit escape, delete, trim. Up here, trim. Oh, okay, cancel. Delete. Oops, don't do that. Undo. So there you go, trim, delete that, and then trim. It's because you have overlapping lines. Some of it you can trim, the part that's like the bigger line you can trim, but if it's just the one side of the box, it won't let you trim it. All right, so there's that. And now I can, whoops, wrong thing, design this side. So again, the way the fingers work, they're the same height as the one on the other side, but the depth is different, the 0.125. All right, so go back here, some rectangles. So starting this edge, go up. So it's 0.125, 0.5, 0.125, 0.5, 0.125, 0.5, 0.125, 0.5. So I've done 4 of them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 cutouts. Good. So now it's trimming, which can be a bit of a challenge. So trim that, trim that, trim that. So trim that. So what I did is I just trimmed out the stuff, and now, whoops, that doesn't look like that trimmed the right way. Trim it again. All right, so now I can come back and try to delete that side of the rectangle cutouts. Oops, that did not trim correctly. It's always worth going back and double checking. Not sure why that little piece is left. Either way. Oh, I didn't space these all out correctly. So undo all of those trims. Oops, okay, so redo. So I just realized I didn't go back and space them all correctly. So from this edge to here should be 0.5. It's not yet. 0.5, there we go. From here to here should be 0.5. From here to here is 0.5. From here to here is 0.5. looks weird. That should not be that way. All right, we're gonna come back and have to fix that later. All right, so let's try this trim stuff now. Trim that, trim that, trim that, trim that. Okay, that's gonna have an issue. So I'll come back and delete, 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 trim. Okay, and now delete. All right, so in order to make this work correctly, let's dimension this. See, that's 0.3, so this one should also be 0.3 because it's all symmetric. At least this part is, so that should be 0.3. And that shouldn't have done that. Let's try from here to here, make that 0. There we go. And something's not working there. That's 0.5. Okay. Why is this causing me issues now? Don't know why. I'm gonna have to come back and redo some of this. All right, so let's just do some lines now. So that goes 0.5, down 0.2, and then directly over. All right, sometimes you just have to clean stuff up. Not sure why. Inventor does some weird stuff. So the whole point, this is all done in one sketch. So now when I hit finish sketch, I should be able to extrude a thickness of 0.125 because it's the acrylic piece. Say OK. And then the other cool thing is you can actually make it look like acrylic. Oops. So depending on what color acrylic you want, you can use like a clear blue, clear green, clear light, clear yellow. Might not have all the different types of acrylic we have because we do have quite a bit of acrylic, but if you put in a clear green, it is kind of clear, kind of like what the acrylic would actually look like. So the other thing is just keep in mind when I click on the front, this is the inside. So imagine when you kind of fold this up, we're looking at the inside of this piece. So if you want to keep this as the orientation of your piece, that's good. Just know that if you want to, when you actually get to the point where you want to do your design work, you have to do it on the back, and in order for the design to be facing upwards, you do it on the back and kind of have it reversed, and now you can do your design work. All right, we're going to show that in a later video, but I just want to make sure you understand that. Let's go ahead and save this piece. Again, a descriptive name. So we do acrylic, so speaker, box, acrylic side. Save. Now make a multi-view drawing, full dimension of this piece, and you're done with this piece.